When you're faced with an unexpected challenge and something new that you need to create, how do you get in the know? If you're like me, I reached for external sources of knowledge immediately for years. In fact, I have bookshelves full of books. In fact, I have moved these books around the country and actually across the ocean a couple times, some of them, as references of best practices, of ways of approaching challenges. Now, some of these books are timeless sources of wisdom, and those ones I want to keep. But as I face into the rapid pace of change in the world around me, I've come to realize that knowing or finding a way to get in the know is not always a product of reaching for external knowledge first, but first stepping into inner knowing that I have completely within myself. And while in the past I may have reached for a book and then tried to tap into my own inner knowing or my own inner resources or intuition, what I find to be more resourceful in a rapidly changing world is there may not be a best practice. Because when we look for books and they're just best practices, they're actually a little bit like looking in the rearview mirror. And what we're living in at this time is a time that's unprecedented, that we don't even know how artificial intelligence or other sources of change are driving a whole new way of being. So why not tap into our inner knowing first? And so one thing that I'm practicing and that I invite you to think about as well is if you want to deepen your inner knowing, there's a couple of aspects that we need to refine. Because inner knowing really is a product of listening, receiving kind of whatever inner knowing or knowledge or intuition that we might have, surrendering to it as, hey, let me give that a try, and then taking action. And if I'm going to become better at that, more practiced at that, I have to deepen my listening in two ways. So number one, listening really is about kind of suspending disbelief, which means I have to open myself up to new ideas that might be a new path up the mountain that I've never considered before. We all know with active listening, when we listen to someone else, we want to listen with an openness without a preconceived notion. How do we attune or listen to an idea that might come out of seemingly nowhere within ourselves without a predetermined kind of judgment like, that won't work. Oh, that's crazy. I don't know. How do we actually listen without judgment? So that's number one. Number two, listening opens up new possibilities. You see, most of the beliefs that we walk around with by the time we're age 35 or so, neuroscientists tell us we've hardwired ourselves into a certain signature. But a lot of those beliefs were given to us through our upbringing, through our schools, our parents, our culture, some kind of, ingraining in the way that we were raised. And those beliefs were not even of our own choosing, perhaps. When we deepen our listening, it actually frees us up. It creates freedom from perceived limitations that our culture, our family, our history, whatever, may have seen as not what's possible. And so when I'm deepening my listening inside of myself, I'm listening for a new possibility where I may have seen none in the past. So the next time you're faced with a new challenge, how might you, rather than reach for external knowledge, get in the know by going inside first, inner knowing before external knowing? Give it a shot. Let me know how it goes.
Hi, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, I'd like to invite you to join the Limitless Actualization community. It's free to join, and when you do, you'll have access to even more exclusive content just like this on other leadership topics, all designed to help you actually transform uncertainty into greater energy and focus, clarity, and expanded meaning and impact. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon in the Limitless Actualization community.